Hi all, Silver Fox here with a new zombies guide for Call of Duty Outbreak. Big shout out to Urban Shadow 777 for help with this video. Let's dive in. So, before we get to the game proper, let's have a look at upgrade perks and ammo, etc. that we can use through the game. First thing we want to do is improve our character's stamina. So, the best thing to buy first of all would be Juggernog. That gives us a lot of health benefits the more we level it up. Second one would probably be the Tombstone Soda, which gives us benefits if our character dies. Things like increased down duration and stopping all your perks from disappearing. So that's also a good one to have. Speed Cola, it's fantastic for backpedaling against zombies. So if you're running backwards, you can get away from them quicker. Upgrades spawn faster as well. Quick Revive gives you a myriad of health benefits once you go down, or if you're about to go down, or if you actually, heal another member of the party. So definitely worth building up on that one. The Stamina perk is fantastic for things like backpedal, immunity to fall damage, and other various things that can kill you if you're not careful. Very easy to do a mission, fall off a roof, and die. Elemental Pop is a strange one. It's one you want but don't want sometimes. Basically, it randomizes the ammo that fires from your gun. You can have, shatter, fire, freeze, that type of thing. It does randomize if you have a gun you really like and you use freeze on it, like I do. Um, it freezes zombies all the time. Sometimes though, this one instead of freezing makes things explode, which you don't sometimes want to do. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Deadshot Daiquiri, that helps with your aiming, gives you extra crit, extra damage against armor. Hip fire spread, which is more important than what you would think. If you have guns, use hip fire attachments where you can. Very, very important on this game mode. So, play the game, get some upgrade crystals, and have a look at your builds, upgrade health, and regen, revive, that type of thing. And then we'll go on to the other perks. Okay, let's look at field upgrades. First one is Frenzied Guard. These are things that you'll use when you're in a tough spot. If you're in, doing the dragon mission or you're surrounded by zombies. So yeah, depending on the way you play, you can go through these field upgrades, upgrade them. I like to use things like the Frost Blast here, which you can see now, which slows zombies down, and that's a big thing later on in the game. Energy mines are good for dealing damage to large groups. Frenzied Guard, if you want to bring all the enemies in towards you and do some damage. Aether Shroud, that's kind of, using invisibility, Harry Potter style, rogue from World of Warcraft, go invisible, do some damage, that type of thing. So yeah, each one that you have has its benefits. The more crystals you get, the more you can upgrade, and the better the benefit you get from the field upgrade. Try each one out and find out when to use them. Use them when you're doing some missions early on, and then use them when you're in a tough spot later on, and see the benefits that you get. You get faster reloading, healing, which is just coming up, and damage, etc. So healing aura, very handy if you're playing a lot of the co-op missions. Um, Also for yourself when you're going solo, does help you to regen your health, helps to revive other people as well, knocks down enemies. So if you're in a tight spot again, you can use this, knock down the enemies. Ring of Fire, one that I used to start with, which is it burns the enemy, blocks incoming attacks. So if you're in a tough spot and holdout or etc., pop this, blocks attacks coming in, from Tempest, etc. And various other benefits as well. Major damage as well later on once you get it fully upgraded. And you need everything you can get when you're doing, holdout missions. You need death machines, Ring of Fire, etc. The weapon classes give massive benefits to certain types of weapons that you use, e.g., submachine guns, LMGs, assault rifles, shotguns, etc. Mostly damage based and reload based and attachment based, so they give you extra damage, extra critical hits, 25% extra crit, 50% extra crit, which you really want later in the game. At the start, the first two worlds, not really a big issue. You could basically take any weapon you want and just explore, run riot. But later in the game, you do need to use probably certain weapons, shotguns, LMGs, specials, the ultra weapons, like the pistol, the ray pistol, and also the Reiki assault rifle. So you really want to try and get things like shotguns, LMGs, assault rifles, and even melee um, done first, simply because later on more zombies. You don't get time to reload sniper rifles, tactical rifles. You get flooded, so you need medium to close range weapons, and you need melee as well, with at least the bowie knife on there, to get you out of trouble if you get boxed into a corner. So yep, have a look through all these sort of attachments and see what's what. But yep, shotguns, LMGs seem to be the way to go to begin with. As an example, here is where it normally gets difficult, which is World 4. These are elite bosses, incidentally, not normal manglers, which is why they're taking so much damage. But this shotgun absolutely wrecks them. If this was an assault rifle, it would take probably a lot longer to get these down. Now, if you watch the Tempest, it wrecks the Tempest in about 2 shots, sometimes 1. And it can take out crowds of enemies with 1 shot as well. So yeah, shotgun and LMG is definitely a good start. Always look for the winter season bosses. The Mangler, for example, it's the arm cannon. Tempests are susceptible to freeze, that type of thing. So yeah, learn how to do all that. Now, on to some of the missions you see on the map. We have the Dragon Head. You need to launch the dragon into space by killing zombies within the ring. So a purple ring of fire is going to appear here. Every zombie you kill inside that ring counts as fuel for the rocket. Any zombies you kill outside the ring do not count. So sometimes you kill zombies by accident outside the ring, and you're maybe 2 zombies away from filling the tank. So yeah, just make sure they all come in, shoot at the feet, and that should be you. Remember as well, at the beginning, any zombies that are around the dragon, if you pull them in and then start, those zombies don't count. It's only the ones that spawn once you start off the mission. So there's no point gathering up lots of zombies, bringing them in to the ring, and into the dragon, and then starting the mission. Doesn't work. So yeah, it would be too easy that way. So yeah, just point blank kills with your shotgun or high capacity weapon. The trick is pick a weapon you don't have to reload constantly, otherwise it can get difficult. Things like melee as well will help you to get out of a jam. Here we've got a full tank of fuel to launch it into space, and we get a nice gold chest as a bonus. Now, on to another mystery in the game, which is the black orbs, along with their creepy sort of kids laughing sound effect that they have. You can normally see them by the reflections, so you'll see them in buildings in the window, and you can hear them as well. You will see them on the minimap. It just looks like a large beehive. So yeah, anytime you see one, shoot it, reload first of all. Shoot it as many times as you can. It does drop lots and lots of essence, usually about 1,000's worth, so not too bad. Now, when you do shoot it, what a lot of people don't know is that it actually moves on the map. It moves 3 times in total. So the first time you shoot it, gather things up, but look on the map exactly where it is, as you can see on the screen right now. So it's heading to a new destination where it will settle. Definitely worth following to the conclusion, because you do get a lot out of it. Here we have it that has now moved. It's booked a room in the ski lodge for comfort. So let's go and get it once more. Before we do, worth adding, don't take your eye off the ball, literally. If you lose track of it, it is quite hard to find it again. You have to run around the entire map, and it's a very small mini map up on the screen, so it's very hard to find. Also, don't fall off roofs, etc. when you're going to get it. Don't forget you don't have the perk that stops you taking damage, and you fall off the roof and break your legs, and it's game over. I have done that before, as have many people, and it's not fun, especially when you're on the later worlds. So yeah, we're going to go back up here again, and we're going to clear the area if we can. Oh, it's been cleared already, not too bad. So yep, and again, and let's blast it. So yep, reload first of all, and then put as many bullets into it as you can. It is now going that way, so we know that it's heading down towards the lake area on this particular map. Let's track it down to its last location, which just happens to be down at the chalets at the ski lodge. So yeah, the Pinata medal can be got by following this orb 3 times and shooting it. And when you do shoot it that very last time, as we're about to do here, it does drop some very nice loot usually, sometimes a legendary. So sometimes you get like the Ray pistol or the Reiki assault rifle. This particular instance, we have a nice grenade launcher here. So yeah, definitely worth chasing to the conclusion. Vehicles such as jeeps, cars, etc., they don't usually take a lot of damage unless you hit an enemy with them or the enemy hits you. You can normally throw them around and jump them off high hills, that type of thing. So don't be too frightened about jumping off a massive hill and blowing up the car. Doesn't really happen. The only things you really need to look out for are the exploding dogs, which do damage to it, and if you hit zombies with it, as we're about to do in a few seconds here. Every time you hit a zombie, it does cost damage, and it scales up with the speed that you're also traveling. So yeah, you might want to ram a zombie at full speed, but it will do a lot of damage to your Jeep. Sometimes it's best just to stop, reverse, go forward, reverse. Enemies later on that are elite, wouldn't bother ramming into them, most likely to blow your Jeep up. Sometimes your Jeep will blow if it gets right down to the bottom and kill you as well. The parachute missions, very good for collecting. You can not jump onto one as normal and collect all these extra 500 point money pods that are in the sky. But you can also pop the mission whereby you have to stay in the sky as long as possible with your parachute. That being the case, always go to the jump pad on the highest point of the map. So top of the hill on Alpine, and Ruka is probably up near the back of the base, the military base. So yeah, so find the best point and just keep doing it, keep going over and over. I have tried doing little jumps more often, off cliffs, etc. But the best way to level this up is to actually do the jump pads far better. I've never seen this mission tick over to legendary when I've been doing it. You can see the box flash every so often, but never to legendary. Remember, the missions do stack. So, for example, if we get epic here, which we are going to do, then if you go and start another mission, instead of collecting the epic reward, start another mission. You might get something like get melee kills, run up to a zombie, do 2 melee kills, and it'll go to legendary. And you'll still have probably 4.5 minutes left. So, yep, do it. Kill a couple of zombies, collect your legendary reward. You'll still see there's 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Go around, kill as many zombies as you possibly can. And again, if it goes up to epic, don't collect the epic reward. Start another mission. The melee mission, fairly easy on the first world. Everything pretty much dies in the first, sometimes second hit. Even the bosses can be meleeed to death. So yeah, it's one of those ones where it's normally quite easy. Later on, though, World 3, for example, as you see here, it's worth having your melee up to at least level 3 and getting that Bowie knife, which, even if you're carrying a weapon, instead of hitting them with the weapon, it'll just pull out the Bowie knife. When doing the melee kills, always run towards something and run back, as you can see here, and usually it stops them from hitting you. It's just about getting the timing correct. So yeah, work on your timing, run towards, hit, and move back on the D-pad, and keep doing it. Same again. If you take too much damage, just back off completely, heal, and then run back in. The melee is worth getting up to 5 if you possibly can, because some of the later benefits that you get from level 5 are fantastic. For the get kills with equipment mission, I like to use tomahawks. I'll usually gather up about 5 of them if I can, and just throw them at everything point blank. So go gather them up, throw it, pick it back up again. If you get more than one, then it will stack. So definitely worth getting 4 or 5 of them. Otherwise, you need to pick them up constantly. Another thing to do is go gather up some zombies and drop in whatever piece of equipment you like or are working on. C4 here, but it could be Molotov, it could be Semtex, but basically gather them up and bang, multiple kills. So easy one to do. The take damage and recover health is the easiest mission to do on this game. And basically find one zombie or clear them out until there's one left. Let the zombie hit you until you get down to about 60 health. I mean, I go down to 30, but to start with, I get down to 60. Move away from the zombie, as I'm doing here. Let your health regenerate to full, and then go back to the zombie again and rinse and repeat. Bear in mind, it might hit you for less damage to begin with because you have armor, and it will break your armor eventually, which means it will do more damage. So be careful. Don't go by time, go by the amount of damage done. Because to start with, if you have armor, it will take 10 hits to kill you. If you don't have armor, it will take 3 hits to kill you. Kill enemies at a higher elevation. Jump on a rock and blast away. Don't do this, which is stand quite far from them, because this happens. Not fun. Every elite has a weakness. None of them seem to like frost at all, frost ammo. You have here manglers. They do not like the napalm burst or the explosive shot. If you have one that takes away armor as well, that's also very handy. Mimics don't like freeze. They're very easy to turn with your rat poison. The soldiers, the armored soldiers, the robots, very susceptible to the blast shatter ammo. And Tempest, very easy to freeze. You want to do that. It stops them leaping about everywhere and getting really annoying. Get multiple kills. Let's get a game of kick the door and run away. So if you get this mission, go to an area that you haven't been to yet. Run through the buildings, run through the windows, run through the doors, kick the doors open and run away. And basically this will spawn zombies, as you can see here. And then we're going to run down to the chalet area. Kill the dogs because they are really annoying. They will just chase you for infinity. But yep, there we go. Run through some more zombies as well. So gather them up, just run through them, and do a bit of parkour. So right now we're going to run through these buildings. This is one of my favourite ways to do this. Just run. Jump through the building, jump through the door. Same again. And every house I do this in, it's spawning zombies, and they will eventually gather up. Remember, the game does stop, phasing in zombies once you get to a certain amount. So that's why sometimes if you're running about and you've got a crowd of zombies behind you, you'll see some zombies disappear. Or you might kill 2 zombies in an area and another 2 appear. That's because the limit's been crossed over either way. So here we are. We've gathered everything up from all those houses. Fire the weapon in the air just to alert them all again. And keep running through the gaps between the groups of zombies just to tighten them up. And here we go. We're going to use some Semtex here. Bang. Just like that. You can use support if you need to use support. Or you can use those amazing symbol monkeys, which are always handy because, instead of a stun grenade, you've got an extra sort of a piece of equipment that does damage. So I like to carry like 5 Semtex and 2 of those symbol monkeys for extra damage. Just to mention again, there is that random ammo perk that you can get that puts a random effect on your ammo, which is great unless it's against a boss, etc. That ammo doesn't really affect, like fire on the orange ghost. So just be very careful with that mod. I wouldn't use it until probably close to the end of the game. This is another example of gathering all the zombies together. The good thing about this is that it stops you from wasting ammo, especially on the later games. It's very difficult later on, to start attacking enemies. They do sprint at you super speed. You do have to backpedal, and normally you backpedal into another pack of zombies or an elite. So sometimes it's best to control this by preempting, going around the area, gathering them all up. You're controlling them, and just go full sprint and gather them up. Even if you hit fire as you move, then you will find that, if you miss the first two zombies in front of you, which sometimes happens, it will hit the ones behind. Bear in mind that even if you're point blank to a zombie, sometimes you'll fire and it doesn't register. It's not that it doesn't register; it's just got a chance to hit with hip fire. So even if you're point blank and your gun's pointing at the zombie, it might not always hit. If there's a crowd of them, you missed that first zombie, it usually registers on the second. Shotguns, though, always connect, as can be seen here. So yeah, for crowd control, massive crowds, these are fantastic. Especially the Hauer 77 gun that you can get in this game. The power of it is ridiculous. It doesn't hold a lot of ammo. Reloading is simplistic though, but it does a lot of damage against normal enemies, elites, and anything in between. Shotguns are also the best for the holdout mission. Holdout is very easy. The first and second world gets harder on the third and the fourth, and gets really tricky on the sixth onwards. So you want everything you can use. Shotgun I find is the best for in this particular mission, or LMG, anything with high capacity that does major damage. You will get boxed into corners, and a lot of the time it's down to frame rate. Doesn't matter what graphics card you have or super console, the frame rate is going to dip here. There's so much smoke, so many effects, so much reflection effects, zombies. There's a lot going on, so yeah, it will slow it down. Don't bring in chopper gunner into this mission because most enemies are inside. So yeah, death machine, war machine. Wouldn't use sentry because things are exploding everywhere and it lasts a few seconds. So yeah, plan carefully and do remember to use your ring of fire, class perk or other ones that you have, healing aura, etc. They do help big time on this mission. If you do go down, and there's only less than a minute to go, then happy days, you can basically just sit and duke it out. You will respawn. Exfil is like going to the Amazon jungle. Everything wants to kill you at the one time. You will find that even in a vehicle, things will bunch up and chase after you. And when you get to the Exfil site, it gets absolutely jam packed, as you can see here. So the best thing to use, I would say, for this would be a chopper gunner, or at the very least a napalm. Chopper gunner you really need to use on the later levels. Napalm you can get away with up until about probably World 5, maybe World 6. If you're playing together with other people, then yeah, each take a chopper gunner, napalm, that type of thing. Bear in mind though, if you try to use too many airborne, call-ins, you will find that it will say airspace crowded. So you want to try and get a nice mix of support that you can use for damage. But yet, once you exfil, you will get extra bonuses, extra crystals, that type of thing. So yeah, plan ahead before you exfil because that's the hardest part of the game. Here is a nice example of a napalm and chopper gunner combo on exfil. So we're going to drop a napalm first. So Urban Shadow is going to drop a napalm, which is about to kick off, I think, round about now. There we are, crispy. And then I'll call in the chopper gunner. Now, it's best before you call in a chopper gunner to remember where the large-scale elites are. The Krasnys, the Tempests, that type of thing, because that's the ones you want to shoot first. So, yeah, get them down, because the time for chopper gunner and other support, it's not infinite. It runs out in a few seconds. So you want to use that time to get the big guys down. And then if you have some time after that, do what I'm doing here, which is clean up on the little ones. And then by the time your chopper gunner ends, you're down to three enemies to clear, which is no problem at all for 2, 3, or 4 players. And then it's time to exfil for those lovely crystal bonuses. Hopefully some of this info has been helpful for you today. If you have any other tips, comment below and be sure to subscribe as well, and I'll try and answer back when I can. But yeah, it's a fun mode, so go out there, use everything, pick up every grenade, every support weapon, try them out, different scenarios, run at elites, try different weapons, have 2 weapons, one with frost and one with fire, and see what happens when you fire them. And try all the sort of little tricks that you can to gather things up. and take them all down at the one time. But have fun, and see you next time. Thank you.